কোথায় গো প্রেমময়ী রাধে রাধে কোথায় গো প্রেমময়ী কোথায় গো প্রেমময়ী রাধে রাধে কোথায় কোথায় গো প্রেমময়ী রাধে রাধে কোথায় গো
Gurave Gaura-chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha. I'm first of all offering millions of Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of my most beloved Gurudev, Nitya-lila Pravishta Om Astautarasara Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same again, millions of times unto the lotus feet of our most beloved Nitya-lila Pravishta Om Astautarasara Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and all our Rupanuga Guru Vargya, and all the Vaishnav and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams. So now we're into the last stretch of our Chatumasya Brat and our Kartik Brat. So this is the Bhisma Pancaka, the last 5 days, Ekadasi today. Ekadasi, fasting. Fasting means always running very fast to Krishna on this day. This is what fasting really means. So today is the disappearance day of Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji and the appearance day of Bhakti-dvaita Madhav Maharaj. So later on, Bhaktivedanta Tapasvi Maharaj will speak some words in glorification of Srila Bhakti-dvaita Madhav Maharaj, and this morning I'm going to glorify Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaj by reading from the Prabandhavali of Srila Gurudev, where he gives a very beautiful, clear explanation and appreciation of Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaj's principal gifts that he's offered us in this world. So I'm just going to read from here, and I hope it brings pleasure to the devotees. Srila Gurudev is saying, we cannot touch Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaj's renounced lifestyle and high standard of bhajan, but we can at least accept and follow whatever lower principles that he established for us and practiced in his own life. After making sufficient spiritual progress, we may be able to accept the higher things, but we should not desire to follow them in our present condition. Who can possibly follow his extreme renunciation, such as eating the clay of the Yamuna and Radha Kund, and remaining completely dependent on Bhagavan? He felt that if he lived in a mandir, many people would come and disrupt his bhajan. So instead, he lived in a latrine. People would come seeking his blessings for the purpose of obtaining some material benefit, but he considered the stench of a latrine to be preferable to the stench of those people's words. For us, this is impossible, even for 1 minute. Therefore, a Kanistha Adhikari will not easily be able to understand the life of this great Uttam Bhagavat Vaishnava. The higher things have been prohibited for us, but we should accept from his life whatever will be favorable for progress in the Madhyam Adhikari stage. As long as we have not attained the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Navadvip Dham, we will not be able to enter Braj. Therefore, most of our previous acharyas who were performing bhajan in Vrindavan left there and went to Navadvip to attain prem. Only after submerging themselves in the Ganga of Mahaprabhu's prem in Navadvip did they return to Vrindavan to drown in the ocean of Krishna prem. First they performed the bhajan of Gaura-Chandra, and from that what did they attain? The prem of the amorous pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Therefore, in the beginning, Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaja preferred bhajan in Vrindavan, at Surya Kund. This is where we went yesterday. Radha Kund, Nandagaon, Varshana, and many other places. But in his heart came the feeling that the type of prem that I desire is not being attained here. He was performing kirtan with great prem, calling out, Radhe, Radhe, where have you gone? Protect my life, because I will die without you. Radha, Radha. Although he cried out with extreme vipralamba bhav, he felt that his yearning was not being fully satisfied, so he left Vrindavan and went to Navadvip. There, to avoid having to come in contact with worldly people, he lived in a latrine. He was such a Mahatma that he didn't even construct himself a hut. Once, the aristocratic landlord of Kashima Bazaar was organizing a conference of all the prominent Vaishnavas, and he approached Babaji Maharaj to request him to preside over this conference. He said, Babaji Maharaj, I'm organizing a conference of Vaishnavas, and everyone desires that you be the president of this assembly. Being merciful, please give Sukriti to us by accepting this entreaty, and I will take you there and bring you back in my own car. Babaji Maharaj asked him, for what purpose are you organizing this conference? What is the necessity of doing it? The man replied, it is for the preaching of Vaishnava Dharma, so people will hear talks describing Bhagavan and be inspired to take up bhajan. Then Babaji Maharaj said, all right, then you do one thing first. First you do bhajan and forget about others. Leave your home, wife and children and come to me. I will furnish you with a pair of kopans, and then you do bhajan. First make your own life meaningful, and then worry about others. Otherwise your conference will only be for your own self-aggrandizement, and there will be no benefit in it for others anyway. First you should come to me and do bhajan for some time, and then you should organize your conference. Hearing this strong answer from Babaji Maharaj, the man was rendered speechless and went away. Another time, one man went to Babaji Maharaj and said, Babaji Maharaj, please be merciful to me. Please be merciful to me. Again and again he said it. Babaji Maharaj became a little annoyed and said, you want mercy? Then here, take mercy. And he handed the man a pair of kopans. What is the purport of giving the man a pair of kopans? When a guru gives sannyas to someone, what does he give him? A pair of kopans and a mantra. Then that person will at once become renounced, leave all worldly attachments, and fully apply his body, minds, and words to the service of Krishna. If the guru gives this to someone, what greater mercy could there be? Here, take mercy. Hearing this from Babaji Maharaj, that man became frightened, ran away, and never returned. On another occasion, a young boy from a wealthy family ran away from home and came to Babaji Maharaj. He said to Babaji Maharaj, I want to stay with you and just do bhajan." Babaji Maharaj did not reply, so the boy began staying with him. He would bring water for Babaji Maharaj and do other services for him also. He began telling the people, "I am a disciple of Babaji Maharaj." But in reality, Babaji Maharaj had no disciples other than Prabhupada. This boy stayed with Babaji Maharaj for some time, but didn't attain what he expected to. And he thought, "I should return to material life." Many people go to live in the mutt, stay for 1 or 2 months, and then return to material life, get married and become busy in household duties. Some men leave renounced life even after 10 or 20 years, but only because they desire to attain the same things as worldly people: Kanaka, wealth; Kamini, women; Pratishta, prestige. They apparently leave their homes to engage in bhajan, but they really only are interested in material gain. Feeling that he had attained nothing by staying with Babaji Maharaj, the boy left, and after about 2 weeks returned to Babaji Maharaj with a beautiful young girl from a wealthy family whom he had married. He offered pranam to Babaji Maharaj and said, "Babaji Maharaj, I have entered the samsara, the material world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written in his Gitavali, E Krishnera samsara kerak chadi anachara. We should give up our offences and perform bhajan as family men. Therefore, I have collected a Krishna Dasi. Please be merciful to her and to me also, so we can engage in bhajan and have a successful material life as well." Babaji Maharaj replied, "You have done so well. I am so pleased. You have collected 1 Krishna Dasi. Then you should do one thing. You should offer puja to this Krishna Dasi. Every day you should cook an offering for her and offer her pranam and some flowers, saying, 'You are a Krishna Dasi and very dear to Sri Krishna. But beware, don't try to enjoy her, otherwise everything will be destroyed for you and you will descend into hell. Beware, don't try to enjoy her.'" Hearing this, the boy was astonished and was rendered speechless. Frightened, he called out, "Krishna Dasi," and quickly left. Was deceiving Babaji Maharaj an easy thing? It was not possible to deceive him. Babaji Maharaj vowed that he would never accept any disciples, but it was Prabhupada's resolution that if I accept a guru, it will be him only. Prabhupada wrote in his Gaudiya Patrika, "At that time I was very proud. I was thinking that there was no scholar equal to me, that there was no Tattvagyani equal to me, no speaker equal to me, and no philosopher equal to me." This Paramahamsa Vaishnava, Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaja, understood this, so he ignored my requests for initiation. 3 or 4 times he told me that he would not accept disciples. He said, "What? You are the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur? You took birth in such a high family. You are worshipful to me. You are such a big scholar. Your appearance is so beautiful, and you possess all good qualities. So what is the necessity of you becoming my disciple?" In this way, he pulverized my pride. People said that he was illiterate, but he possessed all real knowledge, and he was Jagat Guru. 3 or 4 times Babaji Maharaj ignored him, but Prabhupada had vowed that he would accept initiation only from Babaji Maharaj. In the end, he was performing severe austerities to attain Babaji Maharaj as his guru, and seeing that his son's face was withered as if he would die, Bhaktivinoda Thakur requested Babaji Maharaj, "Please be kind to him." After this, Babaji Maharaj finally accepted Prabhupada as his only disciple. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he also comments that when he examined his guru, he found that there was not a single moment, I'm speaking this now, that there was not a single moment in the day when he was not directly engaged in Krishna bhajan. He said if he had found one moment in the day, he would not have accepted him as his guru. If it was 23 hours, 59 minutes and 59 seconds, then he would not have accepted him if that extra second he'd noticed him being distracted. So this was the intensity and focus of Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaja's bhajan that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati perceived through his endowed vision from his glorious father and his personal glorious birth. Now Srila Gurudev continues. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's ashram was situated on the banks of the Ganga, and upon hearing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, being chanted very loudly, Bhaktivinoda would know that Babaji Maharaj was coming. He would chant so loudly that his voice could be heard across the Ganga, and upon arrival at the ashram, he would hear Srimad Bhagavatam and other Krishna Katha from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Babaji Maharaj didn't associate with other Babajis very much. Generally, he would only wear a lungi and nothing more, but one day he begged a good quality dhoti, a kurta, a walking stick, and a nice turban from someone. Wearing these, he went to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's ashram, and upon seeing him, Bhaktivinoda Thakur thought, "See how Maharaj Babaji appearance has changed. He has taken the ordinary dress of a grihasta. He is wearing nice clothes now and is carrying a walking stick like a landlord. What has happened to him?" Babaji Maharaj offered pranam and sat down, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked him, "Babaji Maharaj, today I see that your appearance is of a different type. Why is this?" Babaji Maharaj replied, "These days there are so many Babajis, and many of them are just hooligans, and if even one mentions their names, it will be sinful. They are engaged in such misconduct that a grihasta is thousands of times superior to them. In the name of Parakiya Bhajan, they engage in mundane activities, and they will all go to hell for it. When a Babaji obtains some rasgullas or any other good quality foodstuffs, he should just offer it to a cow. Babaji should not go to any festival, but people invite them, and then off they go to these festivals simply to enjoy a good meal. Feeding the dogs of the dham is more beneficial than feeding them. Therefore, I think that I shouldn't remain a Babaji. I will wear the cloth of a grihasta, and then people will not look upon me as they look upon these Babajis." Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "You have spoken correctly. At that time, the misconduct of these Babajis was so widespread that people hated to even hear the good Vaishnava name. So there was a necessity for a great personality who could preach the pure Prem Dham of Sri Satyanandan Gaurahari in this world. Then came such a personality, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He preached Sankirtan in such a way that in no time the world opinion had changed, and scholars, gentlemen, and everyone began to accept Vaishnava Dham. If there had been no Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji, then there would have been no Prabhupada. And if there had been no Prabhupada, then the pure prem of Mahaprabhu would not have been preached all around the world as it is now. Therefore the original great personality was our father's father's father, our great-grandfather, Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji. Today, with great pride, we declare he was the Guru of our Param Guru, and it is our supreme good fortune that he came to this world. According to our qualification, we will follow the instructions for bhajan and renunciation that he gave, and those who sincerely follow them will be offering the real Pushpanjali to his feet. Otherwise, if we don't offer this real Pushpanjali, then we will just be like those people that he sent away. We should not desire to have material pleasures and at the same time beg for mercy as they did. For really achieving his mercy, we should offer this genuine Pushpanjali to his feet, follow his instructions in a pure manner, and then we may be able to enter into real bhajan. He is never far away from us. He is with us at all times, and he will certainly bestow his plentiful mercy upon us. Calling out his name, our Guruji would cry and say, "He took all of my hardships away." Similarly, he will remove all of our hardships, so we will be able to perform bhajan, and to really engage in bhajan, there must be no other desire whatsoever in our hearts. But if we leave sadhu sangha, all will be lost. Therefore, remaining in the association of devotees, we will perform bhajan and always remember the ideal that Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaj showed in his life. Then our lives will be meaningful, and from our bhajan we will get the real benefit. So today we offer a prayer to his feet, that he will always be merciful to all of us. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaj ki jai. So this was Srila Gurudev's Pushpanjali offering. I think it was in early 2000. And Srila Gurudev would regularly encourage us to attend the school of Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji. There was a time when he was hearing that some devotees were beginning to attend university courses. And my Gurudev was saying, no, we need to go to the school of Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji, the school of Haridas Thakur. This is the school that is going to bring us that greatest reward of the treasure of satisfaction of the heart. If we can focus on this internal bhajan in our lives, if we get too caught up in our various preaching activities, then we're not going to remember this internal meditative practice so much. We're just going to be rushing through our minimal rounds and rushing out, thinking the story that he told about the wealthy landlord who was arranging a conference for Vaishnava Dham, and what would be the result in his heart if that assembly had been successful. He would have felt, oh yes, now I am doing so much service for Krishna. But what is the real service for Krishna unless we're directly able to connect with him through our sadhana bhajan? This, for the jiva, is our principal hope in life, that we can connect with the Supreme Lord. We have this birth, a very small window, not so many years, 80, 90 years maximum, to take advantage of the teachings of all these great acharyas and to appreciate our eternal relationship with the Lord in seva. And then simultaneously we can be preaching so much. But unless this focus is on the boil, what will be the benefit of any of our preaching? All that will happen is that we will accumulate so much pratishta, so much worldly prestige as being an apparent qualified big preacher. But what will be the result for our spirit souls? How further will we have progressed? So these teachings of Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji that always come on the Ekadasi day, right at the very end of Kartik, are tremendously instructive for us, because perhaps through this intense month of Kartik we've had many different ideas of how to please our Guru Vargya with various activities we're going to perform. But the greatest activity we can perform is to become sober, is to control the senses, is to engage in focused bhajan. This will bear the fruit of the most powerful preaching, ultimately, then whatever words we say will have effect. And this will please our Guru Vargya the most. So wandering through the fields of Braj for this last month and having so much inspiration towards hearing the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna, now we can take inspiration from Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji to develop our personal bhajan. Whatever extra bhajan we've performed in this month, the idea is that we try and continue it for the next 12 months until the next Kartik. It's not that all of a sudden after 5 days, bang, we just slacken right off and drop everything. The idea is to keep the steam up, so to speak, to keep the intensity of our focus and our desire to attain this very, very high goal. It's not going to be attained so easily in one life even. Even Narad, Lord Brahma, Shankar, they are not qualified to attain this highest goal of Radha Dasyam. But somehow, miraculously, through the mercy of Mahaprabhu, through the mercy of our Guru Vargya, we do really and truly have an opportunity to reach that most exalted goal of Radha Dasyam. So Srila Gaura-kisora dasa Babaji Maharaja ki jai, Ekadasi Brat ki jai, Vaishnav Seva ki jai, Anantakota Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol, Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhabhyevacha, Patitanam Papnibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. And now our dear Bhaktivedanta Tapasvi Maharaj will speak on the glories of Srila Bhakti Dvaita Madhav Maharaj. Today is his appearance day. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Limitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I offer my Satstang pranams unto Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj, to Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and today, on the appearance day, Tirobhav, of His Divine Grace, Nitilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astottara Satta Shri Shridman, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhava Maharaj. Srila Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhava Maharaj, is the Guru of Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. So I had the fortune to hear from Srila Bharati Maharaj about his Gurudev. Although I had never obviously met Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Maharaj, but I came to know him to one small degree through his disciple Srila Bharati Maharaj. The beautiful quality that I learnt about from Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Maharaj, amongst many qualities that he had, was his compassion, his service to the Vaishnavas. And I saw this in his disciple Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. In this world, many of us are not even sure what is going on in our own mind and in our own hearts. But these great Vaishnavas not only do they know themselves completely, but they know others, what they are feeling, what their distresses are. One time when some devotees came to visit Srila Bharati Maharaj, to actually visit the mutt, and Srila Bharati Maharaj met them. They came to see him. He inquired how they were, and after some time they went to see Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj, and he inquired, "Oh, how are you? Where are you staying?" he said. And immediately some tears came to their eyes, and emotion overwhelmed them. They said, "Oh Maharaj, our money had been stolen. We were in a difficult situation of where to stay." And Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj arranged for them some prasad, some accommodation to take care of them. And Srila Bharati Maharaj, in his humility, he was saying that this is the nature of the Vaishnav. I had met them, but I wasn't able to understand the condition they were in. But once they met my Gurudev, he immediately, because his heart is full of compassion, was able to understand them and help them. So, if we want to understand even higher moods of Rasa Tattva, this is only possible when our heart is full of compassion for others, seeing everything related to Krishna. In Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj's youth, he left home for the Himalayas, where he performed severe austerities, and one after another, after performing these austerities in the Himalayas, he had one mystic encounter where Narada Rishi, the eternal associate of the Lord, gave him a mantra in a dream. And there he told Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj, who was just a young man at that time, that don't worry, you will have the grace of a Sadguru. Then later that same year, in 1925, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was on pilgrimage to Navadvip Dham, and that is where Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj met him. And he started to frequent the Kolkata Mutt, the Kolkata Gaudiya Mutt. And by hearing Srila Prabhupada's Harikatha and serving in whatever capacity was possible, his relationship increased and grew with Srila Prabhupada. And he also started to take some of his earnings, because he was working at that time, and anonymously he would send the daily needs to the mutt. Eventually, soon, he joined the mutt and became initiated. His name that was given was Harigriva Brahmachari. And Srila Prabhupada, he once remarked that, Harigriva Brahmachari is full of volcanic energy. He was always ready to perform any kind of service with utmost enthusiasm. And regardless of the situation, he always returned successful. I often, with Srila Bharati Maharaj, he would ask me to do something, and then at the end he would say, "Were you successful?" And some of the times I was successful, and some of the times I was not successful. And then when I was not successful, he said, "Oh, you have failed, you have failed." So this was the beautiful quality of these great Vaishnavas, that they never fail. They're always successful because they're completely determined and completely dependent upon the Lord. Also, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj was requested by Srila Prabhupada to go preaching in the Western world. However, some well-wishers, they said that, oh, he's very young and handsome, and that England was a place of beautiful women and loose morals. So they suggested, don't send him because he is such a handsome and beautiful young man. So in his place, they sent Srila Bhakti Pradeep Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. He had so much, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj had so much great affection for his god brothers. If any of them were to experience any kind of adversity, he would immediately come forward to extend his support without any concern for his own comfort or distress. At times when his god brothers were in monetary need, he would even borrow to be able to serve them by fulfilling their requirements. There was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he had taken sannyas from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. And that devotee, he stayed most of his life in Vraj at Kamai Karela, which was the appearance place, or is the appearance place of Vishaka Saki. And he once became sick and mentioned in a letter to Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj that he needed 50 rupees in order to purchase medicine. And of course in those days, Maharaj, when I'm saying Maharaj is Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj, resided with a few other devotees in a rented accommodation in Kolkata. Whatever rice they collected through performing bhiksha, begging, was sold in order to purchase various essentials in the mutt. And one devotee had donated a few brass cooking utensils, and somehow or other they were managing the affairs of the mutt. But then when Maharaj received the letter from this devotee who was living in Braj, tears came out of his eyes, and he considered that even though this Maharaj had requested, oh, I don't have enough money for some medicine, he considered that although his own situation with the devotees in the mutt was so dire, it's his duty to serve my dear god brothers in this time of need. So while pacing up and down his room, he devised a way to raise such a large sum of money. At that time, 50 rupees was a large amount of money. Eventually he called one of his god brothers, and Maharaj requested him, could you please kindly ask the shop owner who purchases the rice to collect in bhiksha a loan for 50 rupees. Tell him we will repay the loan as soon as possible by collecting a much larger quantities of rice. So they would collect the rice and sell that rice and then get the money. In case you're unable to get a loan of 50 rupees from him, then accept whatever he gives you and try to collect the balance from the house of the other devotees. We have received, so this was his thought. He said that we have received an opportunity to see a Vaishnav, to serve a Vaishnav, and it is our duty to act on this immediately right away. Serving our god brother is our topmost priority, especially in this time of need when he so desperately needs help. So that devotee collected a loan of 30 rupees from the shop owner and 20 rupees from the other devotees. And when he handed that 50 rupees over to Maharaj, Maharaj was feeling so much relief. Then he told Srila Bharati Maharaj that you go and send this money by telegram, don't delay. And when he came back, when Srila Bharati Maharaj came back, his Guru Maharaj didn't say anything, but he could see by his expressions that he was very pleased and grateful that Srila Bharati Maharaj had done this, as if Srila Bharati Maharaj had done some great favour. Another time when Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Maharaj was honouring Prasad right before leaving for Vrindavan from Calcutta, Srila Bharati Maharaj read him a letter that he just arrived from one of his godbrothers. "Oh, I need some medicine for my eyes, and it's not available here. Can you bring it with you from Kolkata?" So Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Maharaj immediately gave Srila Bharati Maharaj his train and coach number and told him, "Oh, take some money, purchase some medicine, and go directly to Howrah, the train station, where I'll meet you. Because if I stay here in the mud, I'll miss the train." So then Maharaj goes to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy is just opening, and as normal, the shopkeeper, he's doing the arti to the shop, and everything is taking some time, and Maharaj is feeling like impatient. Oh my gosh, the train is leaving, this man needs to do all this. So eventually he gets the medicine, and he rushes back to Howrah station, and he saw that there was a green light that had already been given for the train. It was just about to leave. The train was about, that his Guru Maharaj now was on the train because the train was about to leave. So he kicked off his wooden sandals and ran as fast as he could towards his Guru Maharaj's coach. And he was running as fast as he could. And when he got closer to his Guru Maharaj's coach, he saw Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Maharaj, his Guru Maharaj, leaning out of the door of the coach, awaiting for the arrival of his godbrother's medicine. And just as he handed over the medicine to his Guru Maharaj, the train began to pull out of the station. And he said, "We are fortunate to have taken advantage of this opportunity to perform Vaishnav Seva." So he deeply touched the lives of many devotees by his divine kindness, and he was completely free from the conception of I and mine. And he saw the whole world as one family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam, that he saw everyone as one family. He epitomized the spirit of Vaishnav Seva. He would even go as far as saying our service has only two objects, Vishnu and the Vaishnavas. Of the two, service to Vaishnavas is more important. I will choose to serve Vaishnavas even if I were to borrow. And in case I were to leave this world before paying back my debts which I incurred in service to Vaishnavas, I will happily take birth again to repay them and avidly take on more debts to remain in their eternal service. My constant prayer is that I may eternally maintain this consciousness without deviation. He taught that if we do not subscribe to the concept that all that happens is due to the grace of Sri Hari, everything that happens is auspicious, then our life will be haunted by sorrows. Nothing can happen without the Lord's will, because the Lord is all auspicious. Whatever happens as a result of his desire is always for the best, and therefore it must be auspicious. Small-minded persons are unable to comprehend that many seemingly unfavorable incidents may be the Lord's way of accomplishing a bigger task. So these are the thoughts, the concepts, the way they live their lives, these great Vaishnavas, always seeing in this way. And amongst one of the most notable achievements was in Puri, where the birth site of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Jagannath Puri was entrusted and taken. He undertook one of the most difficult tasks to get this place, because Srila Bharati Maharaj explains that place, so many devotees had tried to take it back because it was just inhabited by so many families. Lots and lots of squatters or people illegally living there, and they couldn't get them out. And so it was a real difficult job. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, he took it upon himself to go through whole the court cases. And you've got to remember, they had no money at all. Even different devotees were asked to give some money, but no one was able to. But eventually, he, enduring so many physical and mental adversities, and it took almost 12 painstaking years of intense persistent efforts to accomplish this task. So everybody was so grateful to Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj for getting this place back. There's one quote of Srila Bhakti Rakshakshidha Maharaj, and he says that Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, that he saw him as non-different, as comparable to none other than Sri Vrakeshwar Pandit. Because we know that Sri Vrakeshwar Pandit, he continuously danced in kirtan for 72 hours without feeling fatigued. So he had so much energy. This is only possible when one is completely in harmony with the Lord's desire. There is nothing they're thinking for themselves. When Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj's householder disciples would come forward to offer clothes and donations to their Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, he would tell them, that I'm a relatively young devotee and will surely come here again in the future. Whereas my godbrothers are senior to me, both in age and in the realm of bhakti, and may not visit this place again, and I'm young and I will come again. So who knows whether or not you will attain the fortune of having their darshan and association again. You should therefore serve them by offering them all these gifts, and not me. Vaishnav Seva and Guru Seva are non-different. Srila Bharati Maharaj also said that Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj trained them in such a way to see all of the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, all his godbrothers, as equal to him. So at times when Srila Bhakti Rakshakshidha Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, all these Vaishnavas were there, he said we never saw them as different from our Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, because he always trained them to see all as equal. The way he thought was very, very subtle. One time he said that at times Srila Prabhupada tests my inclination to serve the Vaishnavas by presenting before me the apparent underprivileged state of some of his disciples. Therefore I always remain careful never to fail such an examination. Like with Srila Bharati Maharaj, it felt like he was always examining us, and we had to be careful not to fail such an examination. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, he said, yes, we always should be careful not to fail such an examination. We should always remain very careful in our attempts to assess the character of Vaishnavas. We must never neglect or dishonor them under any circumstances. We have renounced the world for the sole purpose of serving Sri Vishnu and the Vaishnavas. The only key to our success is to never act miserly while serving them. So there were so many festivals and programs that Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj was holding, and many times they had no money. And it seemed to some devotees that, Maharaj, you're spending all this money on these festivals. If you were to economize, if you were to not spend so much money, then you'd have more money for the construction and for other preaching. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj was always replying, no, right now we have the opportunity to serve these Vaishnavas. What is the purpose for all these temples? Right now we have that chance, so we want to take that chance. And his last instructions were to never leave devotional service of Lord Hari, whatever the circumstance may be. He said, "This is my prayer, my desire and instruction. Practice devotional service in all circumstances. Always give respect to senior Vaishnavas. Never hesitate to do so. This will bring auspiciousness." So Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj is regarded as one of the most intimate associates of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was a living personification of a Sad Shishya and was deeply admired for his service spirit towards Hari, Guru and the Vaishnavas. And certainly his divine life and ideals eternally remain a great source of inspiration and unending auspiciousness for all those who take shelter at his lotus feet. Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaja ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Radhe Radhe